business. I started working for Morgan Stanley and eventually became Chief Financial Officer in all of Asia for Morgan Stanley. But my real passion was on the ministry, the charity side, and so we started looking for charities that we could get involved in. But what's happening here in the Philippines and ICM was really intriguing for me. So everywhere we looked, we saw so much need, but there was also so much potential. So a few of my business friends and we started giving a little bit of financial resource and a little bit of business disciplines to the people that were already working here to try to bring the results that was already happening at scale. ICM grew at an astonishing pace. Everywhere we looked, there was heartbreaking poverty, and the strategies we developed were really paying extraordinary dividends. So today, we were able to help hundreds of thousands of ultra-poor Filipinos, plus we've grown to other countries. So how did we accomplish that? How did we get to where we are today? First, ICM is focused. We deal with the ultra-poor, those who are at the very bottom of the economic pyramid, those who live on less than 50 US cents per person per day, barely enough for food and nothing else. Those people are in very remote communities, they live off the grid, isolated, and often they endure a world where they have no hope that their world is ever going to be better. Second, ICM's programs are effective. Complex problem like poverty reduction requires a holistic, multifaceted approach. So we've gathered hundreds of millions of data points, and at the end of just 4 months, our programs increase household income, it reduces serious illness, it reduces chronic hunger, improves childhood education, increases hope in the families and family satisfaction, and scores of other life improvements. And we've partnered with dozens of other academics from outside ICM to validate and publicize those results. Third, ICM does everything we can to be efficient. We work with local pastors like the community that I'm in here right now. They are all over the Philippines. We find them in the most remote mountain villages, in the darkest urban slums, in fishing villages. They're pretty well everywhere. And they desperately want to help the poor people in their communities. So we meet with them, we partner with them, and we provide the training, and they bring the volunteers, they bring the venue, and most importantly, they provide the long-term follow-up for the program. Because of that efficient network, we're able to provide this full 4-month Transform program for a fully loaded cost of only $10 US per family member. And we're able to work with 15,000 pastors to make that happen. At ICM, we are achieving scale. As a business guy, I feel really passionate about not just bringing solutions to one community or one orphanage, but we try to help as many people as possible. In 2017, we were able to graduate our 1 millionth participant through our 4-month Transform program, and in just a couple of years, we'll graduate our 2nd millionth, and we are growing every year. I am so proud of the people that have brought us to the place we are today. At ICM, we are a team. We try to work together, everybody within their own giftedness. So whether you're a trainer that works with the poor people in the communities, or whether you're someone that tries to write the curriculum, so design the strategy so that they have the most impact, or whether you're a researcher that helps us to validate what's working and what's not working, or if you're a stakeholder that provides the financial resources that we need in order to actually make this all happen, I just want to say thank you. And I want to invite you to join us in this journey to try to change the lives of millions more people.
My son died when he was 3 years old because he drank dirty water. He never recovered from diarrhea.
Sometimes I can't provide for my family, and my children have to go to bed hungry.
Some days I cannot go to school because I have to take care of my siblings.
Our roof was ripped off during the typhoon.
My whole life, I've been a fisherman, but now it's so hard to catch anything. We have to go farther to find any fish.
I have to send my kids to school with no breakfast.
My daughter has a high fever, but I have no money to bring her to the doctor.
We were forced to move out.
We work so hard, but the wages are not enough for my family.
I want my daughter to go to college.
Poverty isn't simply a financial problem. It is a life of exclusion. Exclusion from healthcare, from education, from social connection, and from opportunities to earn and save money. At International Care Ministries, we are focused on bringing lasting transformation to those living at the absolute bottom of the economic ladder. Since 1992, ICM has been reaching the ultra-poor in the Philippines. Our Transform program combines training and resources and is run through partnerships with thousands of local churches. Once a week for 4 months, Transform delivers hope. Hope starts with the heart. The values training strengthens community and builds love, trust, and self-worth.
Today, our topic is forgiveness, and we are going to discuss how we reconcile each other's differences.
Hope grows with opportunity. We teach participants how to start and grow a micro-business and to save money as a group.
This week, we started to learn how to make a vegetable garden. In 4 months' time, participants will have their own organic vegetables that they can both sell and eat.
Ng mga teenagers naton.
Transform also addresses participants' physical needs through training and treatment. The health curriculum covers nutrition, disease prevention, sanitation, and childhood health.
Now we're learning about safe pregnancy, and we're also screening all of the children so we can treat anyone who is malnourished.
The last component of HOPE is education. Volunteers train parents to teach their preschool children at home and get them ready to enter public school.
With me is Riza. She's using these flashcards to teach simple math and the alphabet.
Through its holistic approach, Transform provides not just training but also resources for participants to grow in every area of life. Communities graduate from Transform after 4 months, but that's just the beginning of their journey with ICM. The group elects their own local leaders who stay in touch with ICM every month for further training and opportunities. From their collective savings, which have grown over the past few months, the group now has a pool of capital. Many people have savings for the very first time in their life. They now have the opportunity to start their own business, a group enterprise, or both. Transform runs in thousands of communities every year. It's scalable, reaching the remotest communities. It's effective with measurable impacts, and it's efficient, costing just over $10 per person. Transform has impacted more than 1 million lives, one person at a time.
With my savings, I rebuilt the walls of my house.
I opened my own store.
I have savings for the very first time.
Now we have a water pump.
We renovated our home.
I have 4 different businesses to support my family as well as the studies of my children.
Because of ICM, soon I'll be going to college.
Now we have a piggery.
Through ICM program, I started growing my own vegetable. I cook and I distributed it in 2 different canteens.
Hello everyone, I'm Tim Latour and welcome to the Countdown Show.
And I'm Louise. It is great to have you all with us.
We're here in Hong Kong counting down to ICM's 30th anniversary global banquet. The main event is starting in just under an hour's time. So we hope you're ready for it because it's going to be an inspiring event and hopefully a lot of fun too.
Yes, it will. We have a lot coming up both in the Countdown Show and later on in the main event. Competitions, performances, and of course all the action in the silent auction. But before we start, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for being with us.
Yes, thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. I know we have people tuning in from all sorts of places. I know it's the crack of dawn in the West Coast in the US, so good morning to our friends in the States. And it's getting late over in Australia where we have some friends watching. Good evening to you all, and to everyone in between, welcome.
So here in Hong Kong, we're at the Aberdeen Marina Club where we have several hundred guests. And we're thrilled to have 500 people gathered in Manila at our simultaneous event there. So magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Good evening to our guests joining from the Philippines. And of course to all the ICM staff who are watching from across the Philippines. So wherever you are, please do get in touch. You can share your photos and let us know how you're participating on ICM's Facebook and our Instagram. And we're looking forward to seeing your banquet experience. International Care Ministries exists to bring transformation to the ultra-poor in the Philippines and beyond. We combine a heart of compassion with a business approach to fighting poverty, and we have now graduated more than 1.6 million people through ICM's Transform program. And tonight we're celebrating our 30th anniversary to thank all of you for making that happen.
30 years is such a milestone, and the ICM team have prepared a fantastic event to both celebrate all that God has done through the ministry in those years, but also to look to the future. ICM was started by a small group of poor Filipino pastors in Bacolod City in the Philippines, and today has grown to be one of the largest charities in the country.
And you, our partners and supporters, have been at the heart of every life that we've been able to touch in those 30 years. This year, Mihao and I had the chance to talk with many of you on camera about your involvement with ICM and hear some messages of support to our staff. So let's check out a few of those.
To the ICM staff, I am so pleased to have been part of the 25th anniversary and now the 30th anniversary. And I think from my vantage point and in the role that I sit in, I get to often see how different audiences and the world responds to our strategies, responds to our theory, responds to our program. And the first thing that I think has risen up in some of the recent work that we've done is just the incredible passion that we have in the bases and the branches. There is a paper that was published recently that really showcases the courage and the incredible willingness to put themselves in danger during COVID to serve our communities. So I just want to encourage everyone that passion comes through even in something like research that some people think is more dry and not as interesting, but it really comes through and it stands out amongst this other types of research that I see. So that is just incredible, and I just want to remind everyone that it's noticed. It's and I hope that that's very, very encouraging.
Yeah. So to the 700 staff that are out there, just doing it, I would just want to say I hope you understand how valuable you are and how precious your efforts are. And I can only imagine the struggles that you face and the challenges that you have. And you've got your own families to care for while you're caring for other people's families. And you've got financial pressures and educational needs and all the things. But I hope that you have a deep and abiding sense of knowing that there are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people scattered around the world that may not ever get a chance to meet you this side of heaven, but are cheering you on and are just so proud of you and grateful that you are that you're doing the work and that you're making it happen and you're fulfilling Matthew 25, and that is massive. And so I just want to say thank you personally. And on behalf of our church, I just want to say thank you as well for continuing and persevering, getting up day after day and doing what might be monotonous tasks. But maintain the vision. Remember why you're doing it. Remember that you are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses that are cheering you on and are grateful for every effort that you do. So thank you.
You guys are doing amazing work. We know that the path has not been easy. We know how there's been difficult times, and sometimes you just feel like the yoke is just too heavy to carry. And I think the work and the love that you guys continue to shower every single day in the work that you do, is amazing and should be celebrated.
Your hearts are so big and your commitment is so clear that just know that others see that and appreciate that. But I think one of the most important things in any part of life, in all of our lives, are the relationships that we have with one another. And I think that what ICM excels at is demonstrating that all of the staff have life-on-life relationships with the people in the Philippines, that they're committed to walking alongside them. It's not just about helping them, it's actually about living life together with them.
It is my wish that every staff of ICM will develop that mindset, that it's not a passive exercise of faith, but it's being trumpeters in the face of unrighteousness.
What you do now, I use this verse a lot because it encourages me. He will not forget the work you've done or the love you've shown him. You will forget the work you've done. Even as you come to this 30th anniversary, we don't even know all the things we've done over the last 30 years. but God does. Every day you get out of bed, every day you have that discipleship time in the morning, but every time you're filling your truck full of supplies, oh, the Lord sees all of it. And He will never forget what you've done for Him. And you are showing love to Him. That's what 6:10 says. You're actually showing love to Him by your service. So even though you're not noticed by us, even though you're not noticed by all the pastors, you're not hearing thank you all the time, the Lord Jesus sees it all. And you will one day, He is the great rewarder, and that's what He's going to do. He's going to reward you for all this effort.
Amazing to see great friends and ICM partners. We're so grateful to have you with us.
One of the highlights of this event every year is the auction. I remember the very first ICM auction way back in 2004 when we all had to write our bids down on paper, and it was pretty chaotic. Thankfully, technology has progressed since then, and everything happens in real time online.
And we're so grateful for all of our auction items. The team and our volunteer auction committee have worked for months and months to get this array of prizes. So to everyone who has donated, whether it's artwork, trips, luxury goods, or one-of-a-kind experiences, thank you so, so much.
Now that here in Hong Kong, we're finally able to travel again, I'm excited to see some of the great trips, both close to home and further afield.
Yes, we have 2 beautiful homes in the mountains in the US, a ski chalet in Beaver Creek, Colorado, and another in the stunning Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia.
And the art in the auction, as ever, has something for every taste. With a great collection of pieces from Filipino artists, these sculptures by Ram Malari and Nicolo Jose are 2 that really stand out.
And there are stunning paintings, including these beautiful pieces by Benji Cabangas and Christine Lim. So if you're ready to bid, you need 2 things. You need your mobile phone and your bidder number. You should have received your bidder number with the email from ICM with tonight's event information, or you'll have it on your table if you're at one of our dinner venues. If you don't know your bidder number, ask your Zoom host, your table host, or you can email us at banquet@caremin.com.
All of our bidding and pledging takes place on this website, icm.oph.hk. Just head to the website, log in with your info, and start bidding.
And we can check out how the bidding is going now live. So when you place your bid, your name and your bid amount will appear next to the item that you're bidding on. If someone outbids you, you'll receive a text message with the new bid so that you can go back and bid again. Today you can bid in Hong Kong dollars, US dollars, or Philippine pesos. So if you want to switch currency, you can do that in the menu in the top left corner. But we're displaying all the top bids in Hong Kong dollars here on our screens. And there are 2 groups of items in the auction. All of the lot 1 items will be closing in just over an hour, and then the second lot of items close at the end of the event. If you have any questions about our auction at all, please talk to your table attendant. You can use the Zoom chat or email us at banquet@caremin.com. Now, don't leave those bids until the last minute. We'll be checking in again soon to see who is in the lead on all of those fantastic items.
Now it's time to hear from more of you from around the world.
I just want to say that thank you for everything that you do. You are making a difference, and we are blessed to be able to partner with you as you serve the communities in the Philippines. And please continue and keep up the good work.
Thank you, for what they've done and what they've achieved. I mean, a lot of them, including the choir kids, can really do whatever they want and stuff, but the fact that they're choosing to help other people to reach their goals and reach their dreams is just, it's really amazing to see.
We've been on the ground, we've talked with people, and you can see there's hope in their eyes. There's opportunities for them that they've never had before. And these are people in these smaller communities. These communities are really rallying. And I think particularly over the past 2 years with COVID and the lockdowns, I know a lot of people have been hit very, very hard. I would just encourage them by saying, what you're doing is really, God's work.
Well, I think, I was privileged enough to help celebrate the 25th anniversary and be in the Philippines with the staff and go to some of the celebrations. And celebrating a milestone like that is a really important thing in the Philippines. And so it was fun to be there and to, with all of the day-to-day struggles, to see the pastors and the staff just take a night off and say we've accomplished a lot. And it was again a real blessing to me, probably more than to them, but But then when you look at that now in the last 5 years, all the things that have happened with the pandemic and the struggles, that, my advice would be, live day to day, understand what the Lord is asking you to do day to day, and what ICM has given you as a pastor or as a employee, and your ability to help others, improve the lives of others.
I hear this all the time, and it's really true, is that you get yourself into a real routine. And sometimes routine has a tendency to discourage rather than encourage. And so there needs to be variety. There needs to be challenges, but challenges have to be met with optimism and encouragement.
To not get discouraged, to stay the course, and just lean on the Lord, because I'm sure there's times that get discouraging, physically, even spiritually.
Thank you for everything you've done. You impact the people's lives in the Philippines daily, and you impact the Americans that get to go to the Philippines. And I know that my family, and there's lots of other families that are excited that the Philippines is now opening up, and they want to, come visit you and come celebrate you.
I don't know what this means to each individual, but I would say to remember where you've come from, because even for me in my own life, I think when life gets hard and when there's tedious things that keep you on the right track, you need to remember where you come from and what brought you there. And so just remember what drew you to ICM and why do you do this work. Don't forget why you're there and what inspired you originally.
Without the ICM employees stepping up to their calling and living out what the Lord has called them to, we run short of people that we can support to send to go do that, to make a vital difference, make an eternal difference in people's lives. And I just think that is really a powerful combination.
We see what the staff members are doing, and we see it in the results. We see it in the people. We see that Jesus Christ and his message and his good news are getting out, and so we'd love to just keep encouraging those people on the ground. We're so blessed to have them.
I know that it's not always working the way you want, but to know that you are always making a difference, even if you don't see it. And you're not just making a difference in the people you're working with, you're making a difference in their families, and so it's generations going down. So just to know that the work that you're putting in is going to pay off tremendously.
Everything we hear and understand what you're doing encourages us to want to contribute more and be a part of the wonderful work they're doing. But I think truly understanding and believing they're making a difference. But I totally understand it is slow, and but little progress here and there leads to big progress eventually. So stay the course, and thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Welcome to the Countdown Show, where Louise and I are counting down to ICM's 30th anniversary banquet. We're so glad you're here with us, and we're looking forward to a great event together, celebrating 30 years of transforming lives in the Philippines and beyond.
Now, one of the ways you can contribute in a very special way today is through donating for one of our Hoppy stuffed toys. Now, Hoppy is a character who many of you know from ICM's Christmas campaigns. And this year, we're thrilled that he has come to life in the form of a beautifully crafted stuffed toy.
We have several hundred of these cute little guys at our banquets in Hong Kong and Manila. If you're not here with us physically, shoot us an email at banquet@caremen.com to find out how you can get yours. Every one of these bunnies has been lovingly hand-sewn by the Red Rope Cooperative in Bacolod City. The Red Rope ladies are all from ultra-poor backgrounds, and the cooperative gives them an avenue for training in handicraft production and a source of income.
And today we're also releasing the latest installment in Hoppy's adventures in our newest book, Hoppy Goes to Hong Kong. It's beautifully illustrated by Ninka Joachimowska, and we have a short video showing Hoppy's journey to Hong Kong.
My name is Ninka, and I am the illustrator of Hopi Stories. I feel very fortunate to do a project so close to my heart as this, educating kids about how to help people living in high poverty, how a charity organization works is very important for me, and I hope we get to continue the project for a very long time. I couldn't get to the banquet. I'm here in my hometown in Bydgoszcz, but I hope you're having a blast. Hope he's with me all the time in my heart and in my mind, and I hope he's there with you and he gets to inspire you a little bit to find a way of helping other people. Maybe unexpected or maybe very expected one, but we'll see.
Thank you so much to the staff in the Philippines who help realize the mission that ICM has. Your work can't be just described on a piece of paper. The impacts are so tremendous, and everybody feels that. Everyone genuinely has such a deep appreciation for all the work that the ground staff in the Philippines does. Just a lot of gratitude and admiration, definitely, on my part. Yeah.
The donors are one thing, but without the people that are giving their hearts and souls and all their time and energy on the ground to actually serve the people in the Philippines, ICM wouldn't be a thing, and so keep loving people well.
Oh, I've seen you guys at work in action, from General Santos to Dumaguete, and I am really impressed by how organized things are and how you were very accommodating to us when we came and do our mission trip in Dumaguete. Like, they did everything to make us feel at home.
The next step is really looking at how to scale this. I think for the last 30 years, I've been really working out the kinks, right? This is, in entrepreneurship, we're starting to teach about, company building and stuff, and at some point, you're looking at scaling, right? And I think ICM kind of worked out the kinks about how to scale. I think it's time to, put the resource behind it and really scale it. Just absolutely keep up the good work. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you for all that you've done, and please continue to do it. Some of you have been there since the early days, and some are newer. But the impact, you may not always see the impact you have, but it is noticeable. And down the road, many generations will be affected by it. And don't give up hope. And remain true to the mission of ICM. You're changing lives.
And because you're on the ground, you get to see it. Because you're on the ground, sometimes you need to give yourself some space to celebrate the wins that you've made yourself. But always remember that we are behind you, we support you, that we want you to succeed, and we're here to make that happen.
Thank you to all of you for those messages. Our staff in the Philippines and around the world are all watching live, and it means so much to all of us to hear those words of encouragement and celebration. So I think it's time to check out how our silent auction is doing. We have more than 100 items which have all been donated by sponsors around the world, so thank you so much to everyone who has donated.
We have art and travel that we've already mentioned, but there are also some unique experiences that you can bid on, including executive coaching by Dr. Shelley Trebesh and a fantastic swimming with whale shark adventure day in Cebu in the Philippines.
Now, just a reminder, we are a global banquet, and so some of the items up for grabs are only available in certain countries. And for some of the art pieces, we'll ask that you pay for your shipping costs from the place where the item is located. So before you bid, double check the details for shipping, availability, and validity. Our Lot 1 items close at 9 o'clock Hong Kong time, and Lot 2 will close at the end of the event, but don't wait until the last minute to put those bids in.
We have so many amazing partners and supporters around the world, and we want to celebrate you this evening. On this 30th anniversary, we've gathered messages from many of you to our ICM staff members. So let's hear a few more of those.
On behalf of Feed My Starving Children, I would just like to tell all of the ICM staff and people on the ground, thank you. You guys and gals are people that I admire beyond what my words could say. You are out there day in and day out fighting for the ultra poor, the people that don't have a voice, to give them a chance. And I'm honored and privileged to be working alongside you with a bag of food, but know that you're in my thoughts and prayers regularly. And I thank you for your friendship, your warm hospitality, and I look forward to being back with you as soon as I can.
I see from David on down the passion, the innovation, all of those things that just says, you know what, we got a great, we'll just kind of stay here. We'll just kind of rest here and we think we're good. No, it is always saying, all right, but how can we be better? Or the world is changing. How do we make sure we're adapting to those changes? And now as you're reaching out beyond the Philippines to say, okay, what works well in Uganda, for example? It's going to be different. We know that because we're in 70 countries, and what works in one country doesn't necessarily fit another one completely. You got to adapt it. But you have a great legacy there. I don't think you're done. I would hope not. So keep it up. We will be there with you, side by side. That's what we do, to help you, to lift you up, to provide you our food so you can go and do the hard work.
The phrase that is important to Sacred Harvest, and it's consistent, I believe, throughout ICM and all the staff, is it's a long obedience in the same direction. God, I believe, honors the faithful. He restores them with grace and the support that they need. And there will be seasons as you go through that where all of a sudden there will be that sense of separation, isolation. But that's only a season. And I'm sure during this COVID time, you probably experienced a lot of that.
Sometimes when you get the results that ICM gets year after year, you forget that those numbers really mean people. And there's names, there's moms and dads, there's kids that are attached to every single one of those numbers. And what I would say to the staff and the ICM family is never forget those names. Always reconnect back to the names, because what you do is very hard. It's hard work. It never was easy. It's simple work, but it's difficult work. Never forget that every single one of those names is a story. So never forget it matters.
Yeah, for the team that's out there making all this happen and loving the people person to person, thank you. It is so incredible to see what's happening. I know that the following the right procedures and processes and tracking the data doesn't feel like ministry at the time, but it results in so much more joy for givers, which then makes them want to invest even more in this, which makes it possible for ICM to reach even more people. And so I know that the day-to-day can be challenging, but we're so grateful for the order and the excellence with which you love people, and it makes a real difference to givers like those that we get to work with through the McClellan Foundation.
We are so deeply grateful for your work. We know that while we sit here debating the numbers and looking at the measurements and talking about fundraising, that you guys are the hands and feet of Christ on the ground. And the work is hard, and it is long, and it is very hot. And we are incredibly, incredibly grateful and honored to be your partners. Thank you.
I'd want to share my appreciation with the entire ICM field staff for going out day after day in very difficult conditions through the pandemic, typhoon aftermath. It's incredible the bravery and the courage that they demonstrate on a day-to-day basis to reach people in need. And my heart goes out to all of the teams there with great gratitude that they do the work and support the communities in that way.
Thank you so much for all of those messages, and welcome to anyone who's just tuning in. I'm Louise, and we're here in Hong Kong counting down to ICM's 30th anniversary, and with me is Tim Latour. Now, Tim, I think you are the only person who has been to every single ICM banquet and who doesn't have the last name Sutherland. But Tim, you've also taken lots of trips with ICM to the Philippines. Can you tell us a little bit, what is it like visiting the communities where ICM works?
Yeah, well, I've known the Sutherlands so long that I kind of feel like a Sutherland, which is nice. But the Sutherlands were so nice and hospitable to us when we first moved to Hong Kong. They liked us so much that they said, you're coming to the Philippines with us as soon as we landed. And so we moved here in 2004, and we took our first trip to an ICM base in 2004, and it completely changed our lives. My wife, Cindy, and I went with the Sutherlands and got to go on a vision trip with them and see the communities. And we were just blown away by the staff. First of all, we were completely amazed at the work that's being done in the Philippines, but also just really impacted by the needs that are there in the Philippines and the communities, and just basic necessities and things that you take for granted in your daily life. And so that completely moved our hearts, and we have been supporting and encouraging ICM as long as we've been here in Hong Kong. And even after we had children, we were able to go on family trips with them, let them see the communities as well. So it's really had a big piece of our heart for as long as we've been in this city.
Yeah, and we do want to invite all of you to come and visit ICM's work in the communities where we serve. The Philippines has opened up and now has no travel restrictions, so we're ready to host you. As Tim said, we host family trips, church groups, but you can also do corporate service trips and more. You can even combine your visit with a holiday to one of the Philippines' beautiful tourist spots. So if you'd like to find out more about taking a trip to see our work in person, you can get in touch with us at trips@caremin.com. Now, over my years with ICM, especially while I lived in Bacolod, I've gotten to know some of the founding staff who've been with ICM for the entire 30 years of our history. Now, these men and women are absolute heroes. Back in the early days of ICM, none of them received a salary. They were all volunteers. They lived together in a house above the office. They ate all their meals together. They raised their kids together, and they sacrificed so much. I remember Jackie Banassing telling me that she would even give up her own meals just to feed kids around them who were sick or malnourished. And they're really just amazing people. They've stayed the course for 30 years.
Yeah, it's so inspiring. And we'll be hearing more later from David Sutherland of what God has done through the ministry during these 30 years. Time now to check out what's happening in the silent auction. To bid on our auction, you will need your mobile phone and your bidder number. If you don't know your bidder number, please ask your table attendant. Use the Zoom chat or email us at banquet@caremin.com.
And we have more than 100 items that you can bid on this evening. There are beautiful artworks from both Filipino and international artists. We have a selection of trips to some beautiful homes and resorts for travel in the Philippines, Hong Kong, and getaways further afield. And we haven't even mentioned the stunning array of jewelry yet that has been kindly donated for this event. There are some gorgeous pieces, and we want to thank Harrison's Jewelers especially for all of the beautiful jewelry items that they have donated again this year. So to bid on the auction, visit icm.oph.hk, register if you haven't done so, and place your bids. It's that simple. You can bid in Hong Kong dollars, US dollars, or Philippine pesos, but we're displaying the leading bid here on the screens in Hong Kong dollars. We have about 40 minutes until the first lot's closed.
Give them this clarity that what they're doing is God's work, right? He told us to actually feed the hungry, help the poor, and please never tire, right? Let God continue His work in you. Let God continue His work through you.
ICM, the people in ICM, you are the true heroes, I have to say. You're the ones out there facing poverty. You are the ones talking to people, giving them hope. I'm sure you're making a lot of sacrifices at a personal level. There was just a typhoon recently, and all of you, despite of the impact that you have experienced personally, you're still out there helping individuals and helping those in need, trying to make sure that what we stand for in ICM continues. That's really my only message. You are the true heroes, and we don't say it enough. I don't say it enough because I'm so far away. But Christine and I truly, truly appreciate everything that you're doing. I mean, it's just amazing how ICM has reached so many people, and the reason why it has reached so many people is because of all of you, and because of all of you. A lot of people are in a much better place now than they would have been if you did not speak to them.
I just wish everybody much blessings, yes, because they give so much of themselves, and I hope they continue. I hope they continue, and we hope that we could also support them, continue to support them in the years to come.
They are an inspiration to me. And I think that's one of the reasons I like to go back, because I'm really inspired every time I leave by the great fortitude and dedication and commitment and faith of these people that keep persevering. Their dedication to the poorest of the poor is really admirable, noble. They're very humble people. They would never talk about themselves like that, but I can, I guess. So I want to thank them.
To all the field workers at ICM, all in the villages, the local churches doing real work, thank you. You know, it's a real special gift when you get a chance to give to an organization that's making a real impact, that is taking care of the least of these, who's seeing their beauty and their inherent worth and bringing it out. And that becomes a blessing to you, the worker at ICM, but it becomes a blessing to us that live thousands of miles away to be able to participate in the work that God is doing in the world. As Christ followers, we're all called to answer the invitation to participate in the bringing about of God's kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. And there are opportunities for us to do that in our backyards and our local communities. But the way you do it with such great skill and quality and scale in the Philippines is a special gift to us, the giver, to participate in the work that God is doing. So thank you.
So we've been talking about our auction, and this year we are excited to welcome back to Hong Kong Christine Fladabo-Dunnick.
She's awesome. Christine was the U.S. national champion auctioneer and has been working with ICM since we met her in 2013. Now that there's no quarantine in Hong Kong, Christine is back, and we're so happy to have her here with us.
We sat down with Christine a couple of days ago to hear more about her journey with ICM.
I'm in Hong Kong, and this is my 8th trip here. It's my 7th trip to help raise money for International Care Ministries, and I am thrilled to be back in Hong Kong. When I landed on Hong Kong soil, it felt so good. I've met incredible people here and had great experiences, and I'm really excited to be back in person to help International Care Ministries. Of course, this year we'll have a virtual component, but the last year I was at my home in Spicer, Minnesota, the last 2 years conducting the event. And so I'm just very grateful and thankful to be back in Hong Kong. It feels so good.
Can you share a little bit, what ICM means to you and your family, and why it is that you keep coming and keep serving at this event?
To meet ICM has been an incredible privilege for myself personally, and for my husband and 2 children, and our extended families have also fallen in love with ICM. I can't explain it more than it being a God thing. It was an organization that I thought I was going to do professional work for, which I still do, but it's an organization that our family has fallen in love with personally. ICM has changed us as people. ICM has sharpened us, and the work that they do, out of the 300 clients that we serve, it doesn't get any better. being in the Philippines 3 times with our children, I don't have the right words for the impact that it's had on our family, the gift that ICM has been to us. And it's an organization that has sharpened our children, sharpened us, and we are so incredibly proud of the work that they do. The heart of the Filipino, it doesn't get any better. The joy of the Filipino people, the gratitude that they have for the work of ICM, we are just so proud of this organization, and it's been a great to further their mission with them and be a part of the kingdom work that they're doing.
How do you prep for an event like this?
You know, I number one, I try to pray about the event and pray for the Lord's will to be done. And truly, my work is not for my glory. It is for Christ's glory. He's just merely working through me. But of course, I need to prepare to do the best I can. So I practice. I re-go over the proper numbers. I really envision in my mind how I want this to look and feel, and how is it going to be authentic to the Filipino people, to the work of ICM. I really envision the past trips that I've had with our family and the feelings I've had, and why this work is so important, because the work of ICM, as we all know, truly transforms lives. Lives are changed and different because of International Care Ministries. I've seen it firsthand, and I bring myself to those places in the Philippines that I've been, and I smell the smells, and I feel the feels, and I feel the joy in the heart of people as to when they go through the Transform program, what that means to their life. It is such critical work. So I feel it in my bones. I pray about it. I envision what's honoring to God. I go through the numbers, Hong Kong money versus US money. And I practice and I pray and I envision and I feel, but it's not about me. And I'm super excited for the event.
Thank you, Christine. To anyone who's just tuning in, welcome to the Countdown Show. I'm Tim, and this is Louise, and we're counting down to ICM's 30th anniversary banquet. Thanks for joining us. We're getting close to the main event, and it's going to be an event to remember.
Yes, it is. We have friends tuning in from all over the world. Hello to all of the ICM staff who are watching from ICM's 34 regional offices in the Philippines, to our staff and supporters who are with us from Manila. We also have ICM's 2 newest international teams. So good afternoon to the team in Uganda who are joining us, and a very good, very early morning to the Guatemalan ICM staff who are joining us for their very first ICM banquet. Buenos dias. We have 2 watch parties happening on the US East Coast. Hello to everyone watching at City Light Church in Falls Church and at the Arcola Country Club in New Jersey.
And we have a birthday. Happy birthday to Mickey. Enjoy your day, and thank you for being with us. And of course, we want to say a huge thank you to all of our table hosts, whether virtual tables, watch party hosts, or physical tables in Hong Kong or Manila. Thanks for hosting and being an advocate for ICM. We're so grateful for you.
Yeah, we could not do this event without you. So to everyone who's just tuning in, welcome to ICM's 30th anniversary banquet. The main event is just a few minutes away. As we celebrate this year, we have gathered messages from you, the ICM community, to our heroic ICM staff. And let's hear a few more of those messages.
Gosh, 30 years with ICM, it seems like such a... It was just yesterday that I attended the first banquet, and here we are 30 years later. But it just gets bigger and better, never without its challenges. I hope I'm around to celebrate the 40th and the 50th. All we can do is keep trying to bring as many people out of ultra poverty as we can, and we let God do the rest.
In celebration of 30 years of ICM, it's a great milestone to achieve, and really it can't be done. What the work that's been done, it cannot be done without the hard work of all the staff, and all the bases and all the branches, and you have to really respect, the diligence of all the people that worked for several years, most of them, with ICM, and done the hard work, going in there and sometimes drive for hours from the base to the villages and communities that they serve, and sometimes it takes very out of the way places, to go and serve and to really put their whole heart into it, and really appreciate the dedication that that the staff at ICM has.
Yeah, I just would like to add that it's really remarkable for the last 30 years what ICM has accomplished, and the accomplishment could not be achieved without everyone at ICM working so hard in their own roles and capacities to serve. And I really respect everyone and for their dedication and commitment to the people that they serve. My vision or the picture in my mind is that one day we'll see the Lord, and the Lord will say, "Well done, my faithful servant." So I trust that everyone who have been working so hard at ICM will receive the award from our Lord.
Ultimately, if we didn't have, people that are committed to go to the next level, people that are willing to get their hands dirty, people that oftentimes come from difficult environments and have economic struggles themselves, if we didn't have them being 110% committed, the data just simply would show different results, frankly. The data is not what, helps somebody get out of poverty. The data just measures the commitment and effectiveness of people we have in the organization. And fortunately, we have very motivated, committed employees, partners, pastors that aren't on the payroll. And we have been pretty disciplined in iterating through processes and things that we've, Kaizen, continuously improved to the point where in the hands of those folks, it shows up in the data. And but at the end of the day, it's really about the folks that are there and touching people that need help. And so I'm extremely grateful for that. And sometimes that can get lost in the data. We try not to let it get lost in the data, but it's a reminder after 30 years that it's really about the people there that are doing the work. So thank you.
My message to the ICM staff is a huge thank you for just what it is that you all have been doing. Some of you for 30 years, not all of you for that length of time. What you've been through these last 2 years has been a crucible. It's not been easy to be experiencing the pandemic anywhere, but in the communities in which you all work, it's been exceptionally difficult. And I just want to thank you from me, from the board, for just what it is that you've done. I want to encourage you to keep on keeping on and allow the Lord to just guide your steps in this next 30 years.
In your day in and day out work, know that you're celebrated, know that you're encouraged. Again, know that you're the hands and feet of Christ, and know that you're making a tremendous difference, often under very, very hard circumstances that I will never be able to imagine. But you are pressing through, you're plugging in, you are digging deep with your heart day in and day out to make a difference. And we could not be more proud of you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all that you do to change lives.
To all the ICM staff, well, first of all, I thank you for your faithfulness, for your dedication over the years. And I pray that you stay faithful and that your spirit and your dedication is renewed each day, that you will feel refreshed day after day and continue all the wonderful work that you've been doing all these years. Congratulations sa inyong tanan. Ug daghan salamat.
Thanks for all of those messages, and I'd like to add my own word of thanks to the ICM staff. Thank you for all you do. I know you work so tirelessly. You're so wonderfully servant-hearted, so gifted, so passionate, and we just really want to congratulate you and celebrate you on this 30th anniversary.
So we are just about ready for the main event. Please do stay in touch with us on social media. Don't forget to tag us and hashtag ICM Banquet 2022. And good luck to all of you who are bidding on the silent auction. Remember, to bid, you need your mobile phone and your bidder number. You can visit icm.oph.hk to browse and bid, and get in touch with us on the Zoom chat or at banquet@caremin.com if you have any questions at all.
It's time for us to go and get ready for the main event. So thank you so much for tuning in. We have one more short video to show you, so grab a drink and we'll see you in 3 minutes for the main event, ICM's 30th anniversary. I'm Tim.
And I'm Louise, and this was the Countdown Show, and we will see you in 3 minutes. This is little Susie. Well, that's not her real name, but we can't tell you her actual name. You know, child protection. Anyway, Susie's a pretty amazing kid. In some ways, she's just like every other kid. But then again, she's totally unique, one of a kind, and ready to take on the world. She wants to be a pilot, or a singer, or a teacher, or a princess. And just like your kid, she wants to eat ice cream all day, and she gets grumpy when it's time for bed. But not like our kids, it's almost impossible for Susie to achieve these dreams. Her parents literally put their blood, sweat, and tears into backbreaking work all day. Most days they earn just enough to put some plain rice on the table. They have a hard enough time providing for Susie's needs today. There's no time to think about tomorrow, let alone the future. If life goes on as it is right now, the cycle of poverty will continue. But life does not have to be the way it is right now. We can break the cycle. We reach Susie by helping her parents in every area of life, providing them with investment opportunities to earn more money on their own terms. Safer water, treating diseases and preparing for safe pregnancies. Educating children at home to boost their confidence and skills in school, and bringing a whole host of supportive friends to rely on in times of need. International Care Ministries delivers hope to Susie and her family. Hope starts with the heart. Hope grows with opportunity. Hope endures in the physical, and hope advances with education. We want Susie to be able to keep dreaming of being a doctor, or a pilot, or a prince, and maybe even of eating ice cream all day. Let's allow kids to keep dreaming. Let's give hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, the program is about to begin. Please take your seats.
In 1992, a group of Philippine pastors stepped out of their comfort zones to help the poor in their communities. It was a simple start, seeing a need, meeting it through food, medicine, and teaching.
So this is the Barangay 10, Bacolod, where we started the program in ICM. This place is a mall now. Before is the squatter areas. A lot of people were living here, poor people. There was a church here where I was teaching the preschool, and also we are staying in this place because we don't have place to stay, so we stay here. So we just use the preschool tables as our bed. And then when Sharon visited us and see those children who are coming to our school, so that's why she started the feeding program for the kids. You know, before, our budget monthly is only 25,000 pesos just for the feeding, without any salary before, just for the program. This is where the vision starts, in this place. That's why ICM started.
30 years later, life after life after life has been changed. How do you measure the value of a mother with rekindled hope, of an empowered father, or of a child who, because of you, now has a future? You can't. But here's a few things we can measure. Within the next few years, together, we will have graduated 2 million family members through ICM's 4-month Transform program. Those people will have received 250,000 hours of life-changing training. Our stakeholders have allowed us to deliver 500 million vegetable seeds, 15 million doses of medicine, 150 million meals to fight malnutrition. You've enabled 20,000 children to graduate from kindergarten. You've prepared over 10,000 at-risk children to become school-ready. We've worked together to distribute 400,000 small business starter kits, generated more than $5 million of savings among 6,000 savings groups. You've rescued 14,000 children from malnutrition, supported 13,000 high-risk pregnancies, provided 1,000 people with life-changing surgeries. You've provided the resources to allow ICM vans to drive hundreds of times around the earth to reach these ultra-poor communities. We've prayed a countless number of prayers. We've walked countless steps, because behind every single piece of data, behind every single number is a person who desperately needed our help. So much need remains, but the numbers are stunning. 30 years of relentless execution is making a concrete difference in millions of lives. So let's celebrate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to International Care Ministry's 30th anniversary banquet. My name is Louise.
And I'm Gerard. I've worked with ICM for 11 years now, so I know many of you from your trips to the Philippines. It's great to be here in Hong Kong, especially for this extremely special event.
Now, our theme tonight is I Believe, in honor partly of you, our partners, who continue to say, I believe in ICM's vision, to our staff who say, I believe I can make a difference, but ultimately to our participants who have the courage to say, I believe that my future will be better.
Tonight, we are celebrating 30 years of transformation. But every year, this banquet provides funding that ICM needs to continue to serve the poorest Filipinos. And so we are grateful that you are here to help us meet those needs once again.
So we are streaming live here from the ballroom of the Aberdeen Marina Club in Hong Kong. But we filled up this room, and so we have a second banquet happening just down the hallway with another 50 guests. And for the first time in 3 years, the Philippines has dropped their restrictions. And so there is a huge crowd gathered in our banquet in Manila. So great to have them there.
Many of you are joining us virtually, and of course, ICM's entire 800-strong staff are all watching live too. So, good evening to everyone. I think it's our biggest event yet.
Yeah, hi everyone. So with travel restrictions almost lifted in Hong Kong, we are excited to welcome back in person Christine Fladenberg-Dunnick. Christine was the US national champion auctioneer, and she has been serving at ICM's banquet since way back in 2013. Please join me in welcoming Christine back to Hong Kong.
We have some special guests who are live now in Manila, who are going to tell us all about the wonderful selection of auction items that you can bid on today.
From Manila, my name is Mary Jane. And I'm Rizal, and we are part of the ICM Children's Choir. We hope that you're enjoying your evening as much as we are. One of the most fun parts of the evening every year is our silent auction. This year, we have over 120 items that you can bid on, with art, travel, luxury items, and more. Firstly, let's talk about the art. There are so many beautiful pieces from both Filipino and international artists. I love this piece called One Day by Japat Guevara, which is lot 111. And this touching sculpture by Sab Chua is lot 123. And for those of you who've fallen in love with Hoppy, you can win original artwork from the illustrator. That's lot 121.
Next up is travel. In Lot 1, we have a chance to win 100,000 Shangri-La points, which could take you to so many places. And there's a beautiful retreat to the ballet, which is Lot 128.
And we have some gorgeous jewelry, especially this 18-karat gold set of a necklace, earrings, and ring in Lot 153.
And finally, the unique experiences are so cool. Take care of your health with chiropractic sessions donated by Well-Adjusted Hong Kong. Or hit the world-renowned Clearwater Bay Golf Course with 3 friends.
All of the auction items are listed online at the auction website. Luis and Gerard will tell you all about how you can bid.
More from us later. I know you're all very competitive. Happy bidding!
Thank you so much, Mary Jane and Rizal. We miss you. We wish you could be here, but we hope you're enjoying your night too. Okay, so to bid on our silent auction or to make any donation tonight, you need 2 things. You need your mobile phone and your bidder number. All of our bidding and pledging takes place on the Open Heart website. That's icm.oph.hk. And if you haven't registered yet, you can visit that site, input your name, confirm your contact information and your bidder number. And if you don't know your bidder number, you can talk to someone at your table or you can email us at banquet@caremin.com.
Once you're signed up, you can start to browse our amazing selection of items and bid. The auction is open now. So to place your bid, scroll through the prices on the website, click on the one you want, and enter your bid amount.
So you can bid in Hong Kong dollars. If you're in the US, you can bid in US dollars, or in the Philippines, you can bid in Philippine pesos, and you can change the currency in your menu on the top left. But our leaderboard here will show all of the current bids in Hong Kong dollars. Now, if you get outbid on the silent auction, you will receive a notification by text message. It will tell you the new bid, so you can go back and bid again. Now, since this is an international auction, we have items both here in Hong Kong and in the Philippines. It's an international bidding war. And so we will also invite winning bidders to donate to help us cover the shipping costs for certain items. So please double check the validity and the location of the items you bid on.
We've divided the items into 2 groups of lots. The first lots close in 20 minutes, and the second group of prices in lot 2 close in 45 minutes. We'll give a 1-minute warning when the lot is about to close. When a timer hits 0, the winning bidders will be notified by text message. Good luck! And a big thank you to the auction committee who have done an amazing job of gathering prices. We couldn't do this without you.
Yes, thank you. Now, 30 years is a momentous milestone for ICM. When I joined ICM 12 years ago, we were just piloting our brand new Transform program. But over the past decade, we've become extremely data-driven. We've grown in reputation, and we've expanded internationally. And so as part of our 30th anniversary celebrations, we've updated our logo. Now, these are our logos from over the past decades. I don't know what you think, but we thought maybe they needed a little bit of updating. And so we've worked with our stakeholders to make sure our new logo stays true to who we are. Do you want to see it? You've actually all already seen it. It's at your table, but here it is. We have kept the cross at the center of our identity. But the second thing that's so central to ICM is our heart. We care. Our focus has not changed in these 30 years. ICM exists to bring transformation to the very poorest people in the Philippines and beyond. And so for those of you who were thinking that something looked a little bit different tonight, you were right. So now many of you know Gerard very well through the trips that you've taken to the Philippines, but Gerard is now based full-time with us here in Hong Kong. And now that travel restrictions are all but lifted, we want to invite you all to come on an ICM trip, right, Gerard?
Yes, that's right. We've already started to host vision trips again in the Philippines. And as you'll hear later on this evening, a trip with ICM can change your life. We host family trips, corporate groups, building trips to serve poor families, and many more. You can even combine your ICM trip with that vacation you've been waiting to take.
So to book your trip or to find out more, please email us at caremin.com, or you can talk to myself or Gerard this evening.
Now it is my great pleasure to introduce to you David Sutherland. Before joining ICM full-time, Dave was the Chief Financial Officer for Morgan Stanley in Asia Pacific. But now he is ICM's CEO. Those of you who have heard Dave speak before know he likes to keep us on our toes. And there will be a quiz later, I kid you not. So pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, David Sutherland.
Well, good evening. I am so pleased to be here in this ballroom in Hong Kong. It is fantastic. It was just 2 years ago, Deanna and I did a 14-day quarantine. Last year we did 21 days. You remember those good old days? This year we missed our third quarantine this year, and even though we've been away for a while, every time Deanna and I land here, we really feel like Hong Kong is home. This is where we feel. So at any rate, part of me also wishes I could be in Manila as well. I mean, look at that ballroom. So that's fantastic. There's 50-some tables there. So some of our dearest friends are at the Shang at the Fort tonight, and I also want to say good morning to the Abelotes and to Dale that have a breakfast gathering in D.C., and David Jones, Andy, John in New Jersey. I hope you guys have a great day on the golf course after we get done here. We also have a few crazies that are watching live at 5:30 a.m. in California and in Seattle. We have Malcolm. It's way past his bedtime at 11:30 p.m. in Sydney. Last year, we had nearly 2,000 people watching from 20 different countries. So to all of you, we want to say welcome. So this banquet is the highlight of my year. I know it shouldn't be. I know it probably should be Christmas with the family or my wedding anniversary, but I'm a weird guy. This really is. This is my favorite. This is what I love. A good friend and board member, Dennis Monacello, he says this. He says, we should all strive to live at the intersection of what you're good at and what breaks your heart. So for me, what breaks my heart is poverty. I think that billions of people live in our world in conditions that no human being should be forced to endure. 25 years ago, Deanna and I moved to Asia to be involved in poverty reduction. We came across this tiny organization called International Care Ministries, and so we traveled to the Philippines, and what we saw there, it broke our hearts. Over the years, many of you have traveled with us to the Philippine communities, and many of you have had your own hearts broken a little bit. And you've prayed for us, you've given us advice, you've supported us financially. So tonight, I would like to have you, the ICM community, to help give the keynote with me. So together, let's just talk about ICM's focus.
First thing is ICM's focus on not just the Philippines, but the ultra poor.
If you just walk into a slum as a Western person or even a more affluent Filipino, I mean, it's hard to sort out where the real need is. It all looks like there's need, but there's levels of need.
There are Filipinos, millions of Filipinos who live on 50 cents a day.
What drew us to ICM in the beginning was really the heart for doing something for the poorest of the poor who seem to be pretty ignored in many ways.
The people you're reaching are otherwise unreachable and are some of the poorest people in the world. It's amazing to be able to give towards helping people who really need it.
So as Hanky said, ICM's sole focus is the ultra poor, those who live on less than 50 US cents per person per day. But when you say that phrase, they live on a certain amount per day, it's a little bit misleading because it kind of makes it sound like that small amount of income is predictable. It happens every day, but it's not. For the poor people, some days are better, and for the poor people, some days are terrible. So to solve any problem, first you have to understand it. So a few of us, we decided to go talk to several poor families about their daily income and expenses. And for me, even after a couple of decades of work with ICM, that experience of talking to those poor people, it really impacted me. So tonight, let me describe to you 3 days from one of the families we visited. Undoctored, this is what happened. Elma, she lives with 3 grandchildren. She earns money by either babysitting or laundry. Neither one of those jobs is regular. So when we visited her on a Sunday morning, Elma had a backlog of 2.5 kilos, 5 pounds of uncooked rice that was set aside for future meals. And she had $3 US that she had earned from babysitting the day before. And so that Sunday morning, that cash, those rice, those were her only assets. For Sunday breakfast, they cooked half a kilo of rice. They bought 3 eggs for the 3 children for 50 US cents. She said she couldn't afford an egg for herself. 10 cents for cooking oil, 60 cents for fortified milk powder for the children, and coffee for 20 cents. And that is their breakfast. They had $1.50 remaining, so Sunday morning, Elma went to church and she put 40 US cents in the church offering. Wow. That's really like the widow's mite, isn't it? The whole family ate for lunch for free at the church. Later, they spent 60 cents for drinking water, which would last a few days. The 60 cents for the kids to buy some snack. When they got to the late afternoon on Sunday, the family's whole assets was 2 US cents, 1 peso. Fortunately, one of the grandchildren earned 50 cents helping a neighbor to fetch water, so they cooked another half kilo of their saved rice. They bought a little bit of fried fish, cooking oil, and that is their family's entire consumption for Sunday. That's not a lot of food for 4 people. But Elma, she says, that is a pretty standard day. That is a normal day for her. The next day, Monday, was not a good day. That was a bad day. There was no work for Elma, so their starting assets was just a little bit of rice and a single peso. So in the morning, she borrowed 10 US cents from her neighbor to buy cooking oil. For breakfast, they cooked a half a kilo of their rice. For lunch, they did the same. For dinner, they used their very last half kilo of rice. And Elma's son gave them a little bit of processed meat, so there'd be a tiny bit of protein for the kids, and that was their entire day's consumption, a lot less than the day before. So by the end of Monday, they had no rice and a single peso. But Tuesday turned out to be better. It started when Elma received $4 from the local government. She then purchased 3 hard-boiled eggs, 5 small buns, cooked noodles, fortified milk powder, and her coffee. And at lunchtime, Elma's daughter arrived from out of town, and her daughter brought 5 kilos of rice. So for lunch, they cooked a kilo of that rice, and they needed more than a half a kilo because 7 of them were eating instead of 4. And then her daughter brought some fresh fish for dinner, another kilo of rice. They spent $2 on fresh fish. She borrowed 30 cents from her daughter for condiments, and that was their daily consumption. So Tuesday was a big income day for their family. It was a good day. They got extra cash from the government. They got rice and fresh fish from the daughter, but they still finished that good day with a single pesos and 3 kilos of rice. So you've seen a good day, you've seen a bad day, and you've seen a regular day. Where does that leave them? At the end of those 3 days, it is not clear whether Elma is going to have any work the next day. She has to figure it out every day, one day at a time. Sobering, isn't it? Consider what the family did not consume. They did not consume any fruit and vegetables. They had very little protein. School needs, electricity, hygiene products, transportation, nothing for medical or anything else. The family has 0 savings. Just imagine. I would sometimes, as I was talking to these families, I would ask them to plan, how are they going to get through the next few days? And often, it was an honest, innocent question, they would often tear up. And I realized how much trauma is in their daily lives. This is ultra poverty. That is what they do every day. It is unimaginable. And Elma is not alone. There are 7 million Filipinos living in ultra poverty. And it breaks my heart. So applying Dennis's formula, I found out what breaks my heart. The other part is, what am I good at? And I feel blessed with insights around strategy and scale, and I feel that that's what's needed here. Solutions to difficult problems like this require innovation.
The Philippines is a unique entity in that there are so many churches throughout all these villages, right? And to be able to use that system from a very logistical, strategic standpoint to work through these neighborhoods.
I think that the genius of ICM, if I can put it that way, in terms of partnering with people that already live in the community, the pastors are already trusted, they're there, they have community, they have relationships.
They know the daily struggles, they understand the daily struggles of the people in the communities.
So it's just not, okay, we do it here for a week, a month, or a year, but it's a long-term commitment.
And I think once you see the impact of these programs, it really makes you wonder why more and more people aren't aware of these programs.
Particularly the Transform program. It's unlike any other that I've seen across the world.
You know, I hope over the next 10 years we can help eliminate a lot of the ultra poverty in these areas. It's really ridiculous, like how difficult life is for some of these people. And I think if you obviously want to help them now, but if you teach them to do small businesses, if you give them access to education, hopefully these areas are able to lift themselves up with some extra help and not have the same ultra poverty that we have today.
Well, Transform is ICM's model to reach the ultra poor. We work through a network of 16,000 active churches across most remote communities in the Philippines, and 3 times every year we ask 500 of those local pastors to host a Transform program in their church. And for each one that agrees to do that, once a week, that pastor gathers the 30 poorest people into their church for a 2-hour session in values, health, and livelihood. And at the end of only 4 months, those who start the program in ultra poverty increase their income by 107%. There's a 36% reduction in illness, a 16% increase in satisfaction with family life, and a score of other life improvements. And we're able to keep this transform strategy efficient. We aim to limit the fully loaded cost of the entire 4-month program to $10 per family member. That's not $10 a month that you pay every month or $10 a year. It is $10 period. Transform is ICM's signature strategy. Virtually everything we do is built around that Transform program. We've now graduated more than 1.6 million family members through Transform. We're on track to reach a couple of million in the next couple of years. So that's pretty amazing, I think. So what does that look like in action? This is the island of Negros, where ICM started 30 years ago. And if we go closer to this community, this is the local pastor, Anselmo. He leads a small church in the hills of Sipley. 5,000 people live in this barangay. Back in 2015, the pastor applied for his very first Transform program, and 4 months later, 37 families had started a savings group, and that first group now has 78 members, and that first group has been recognized by the Department of Labor. So the pastor wanted to help even more people, so he decided to go down the road, and he started in the next neighborhood, did the Transform program again, and every year since then, the pastor has hosted a new group of ultra-poor families. Today, each one of those 8 groups continues to meet. They've helped each other through overcome medical crises, typhoons, the pandemic. 417 members have saved $27,000 of their own money from people that earn 50 cents a day. And they've invested their money wisely. Maricon put down a down payment on a motorbike so that they could make deliveries for their business. Evelyn rebuilt her walls after a recent typhoon. Vilma invested in a new roof. Rubelin is raising pigs. Griselda was able to invest $160 in a water pump so they didn't have to walk so far to get water. The Ephesians Savings Group sells cleaning products. Estrella sells rice for a group store. And Gina was able to enroll her daughter in college, and her daughter is now an honor student. So if you decide to sponsor a Transform program, you're reaching a community just like this, sustaining impact for hundreds of families, and that is just one community, just one dot on the map. We have achieved scale together, and countless lives have been changed. So this year marks ICM's 30th anniversary, but it's also a milestone for Deanna and I. We arrived in Hong Kong just over 25 years ago. I have no idea how that happened, but within just a few years, I became Chief Financial Officer at Morgan Stanley, and for all of Asia Pacific, I was overseeing the financial affairs of a multi-billion-dollar business, but almost immediately during that time, I was working for Morgan Stanley. I also was engaged with ICM on the side. And 10 years ago, I left Morgan Stanley to join ICM full-time. So last week, I met up with a few of the people that I used to lead at Morgan Stanley. And I talked to them about how their careers have developed. They're doing really well, and I am proud of them. But I got to say, in those conversations, I began to realize how much money I personally had left behind when I left business. And I've spent the last 10 years of my life in a nonprofit when I'm kind of at the height of the potential to earn income for business, and I found myself wondering, well, was it really worth it? Well, honestly, I didn't hesitate very long because I knew it was worth it. I feel gratified because I feel that I'm living at that intersection of what I'm good at and what breaks my heart. And after decades of hard work by an army of people and undeserved blessings from God, I feel that ICM is in the precipice of the next level of impact.
One thing that's, I think, unique about ICM especially is how oriented they are on data, targets, results, impact. Those things do matter.
I was so impressed to meet an organisation that was so committed to testing and evaluating and continually developing and adapting the work that it was doing.
The leadership have such a desire for all their work to be backed up by great data and research.
And the external validation of their data and working with great universities and other organisations to test the impact of what they are doing. I think that's really key to us.
I am very confident that if you spend $1, that dollar is going in the right direction.
So ICM is now in year 3 of a 5-year partnership with the Global Innovation Fund. The Global Innovation Fund was created by most of the large governments around the world, and GIF's job is to find the most innovative solutions to poverty around the world and help those solutions reach scale. So ICM has now received thousands of grant applications every year, and GIF says that they are only able to award a half a dozen partnerships out of those thousands of applications. And GIF chose ICM to be one of their exclusive partners because they believe that ICM has a unique distribution strategy that can help relieve poverty around the world. And we're now innovating on strategies that have a measurable impact on the poor people we serve, but we're also able to influence how other charities around the world are responding to poverty. So let me give you a few examples of how we'll be able to manage that. ICM has always been focused on improving livelihoods. There are so many innovations through the years. ICM's Prevail network has nearly 3,000 savings groups, serving 100,000 families. These groups have saved $5 million of their own money. The savings group network is now one of the top 12 largest savings groups in the world. And we are one of the very few NGOs with the data to follow the results. On health issues, ICM is developing a sizable community health champion network. We train one poor lady from every community to lead the local health efforts. We give that lady a smartphone, we load it with the ICM app, and she has to go around and register all the families in her community, and the app then assigns her tasks. For example, the app might direct the health worker to visit a 6-week-old baby or a pregnant lady, and if she accomplishes all those tasks, she could earn up to $20 per month. So this is a picture of the Domo dashboard that we use to track. Each one of those lines up and down is a single day. And every day our app assigns a few thousand tasks. Cumulatively, our health workers have visited and provided healthcare more than 1 million visits. The data is real time for ICM's management and for our stakeholders like you. We are already providing health care to 115,000 poor people. Soon we're going to be making a few changes, and just for a modest additional cost, we intend to provide even higher quality care to those we serve and to increase the number from 115,000 to 500,000 poor families. At this point, we will also be managing one of the biggest community health worker networks in the world. On a different initiative, ICM is partnering with the Global Fund and with PBSP. The Philippines is one of the countries worst affected by tuberculosis, so to diagnose TB in remote communities, you're supposed to drive an x-ray van up a mountain, and then you line up hundreds of poor people to be screened. And there are existing x-ray vans, at least some of them, but they sometimes struggle to get the poor people to attend, as you might appreciate, but that's where ICM comes in. Last month, ICM ran a pilot. We arranged thousands of x-rays, and 10% of those x-rays came back as abnormal results, and we are now working to get treatment for every one of those persons that had an abnormal x-ray. And if things go well, ICM could facilitate as many as 100,000 x-rays next year. In the coming years, this initiative could save literally thousands of lives, and it could have the result of integrating ICM into local governments more than we've ever done before. On another framework, on education, we just finished the midpoint of a huge randomized control trial on our Family Academy program. The researchers haven't finished their analysis, so they really didn't want us to publicize the results, but if you promise not to tell, here's what they found. They say that when they evaluate most education programs in poor communities, most of the things they evaluate don't work at all. Somebody gives the kids a coloring book, it doesn't do any good. But if some of the best strategies in the world on this kind of education, they generate this much impact. And when they looked at ours, they said we spend so little, they expected to find no impact. But when they looked at ICM's results on phonics and math, they found that our Family Academy generates this much impact. It is twice as much as some of the best strategies. And we spend a fraction of a cost per child. So, on a separate matter, we've also been working with the Department of Education to leverage our coaches to help children reintegrate into in-person learning. Our coaches have worked with 500 schools in the Philippines with 2,500 at-risk children, and DepEd in the Philippines has recognized ICM as one of its top NGO partners. We're also innovating around disaster relief. Last week, the Philippines was rated the #1 worst country in the world for natural disasters, and ICM is ready to respond. As you may recall, if you were here last year, at the start of COVID, nobody was able to do anything. People weren't able to get food. ICM was able to deliver 14 million meals and 300 million vegetable seeds to hungry families. But COVID is not the only natural disaster in this country. In December 2021, Typhoon Odette slammed ICM areas across the Philippines. 2 million people in those areas lost their homes. ICM leveraged our pastor network to deliver millions of meals to overlooked families. We rebuilt 600 churches. We also launched a trauma healing program, similar to like cognitive behavioral therapy, and we took more than 100,000 family members through a 6-week program to resolve trauma they experienced from the typhoon. And so far, our data indicates that families feel more empowered to take charge of their own futures, and that should impact their long-term results. On another area on values, ICM is innovating there too. Before COVID, we had 3,000 pastors that were attending a full day of ICM training every month. At the time, we believed that was a huge network. And when COVID came, they had to shut it all down because nobody could move around. And we thought if we could just keep our Thrive network at that old level after COVID, then we would have been thrilled. But when COVID started to ease, we changed from having 3,000 pastors every month to 10,000 pastors every month. We tripled our network from before COVID. I got to say, we are stunned at that size. And we are about to leverage on that by launching a big program with CCF to bring a full year of training to this entire pastor network during 2023. The World Evangelical Alliance just invited Deanna and I to Austria last month to present ICM's research, and I suspect that will lead to productive partnerships as well. So it feels like ICM has cutting-edge approach on a whole variety of arenas. And in the development world, the livelihood experts, they very rarely speak to the health experts, and the disaster experts very rarely speak to the education experts. But at ICM, we believe in a holistic reaction approach to ultra poverty, and so it looks like we have a place at the table at each of these arenas. Now, encouraged by these results, ICM has expanded our footprint. We aim, and we have said this from the beginning, we aim to be in every single village in the Visayas and Mindanao so that every ultra-poor person in those areas will be connected to the ICM ecosystem. And we're getting closer here. 5 years ago, we had just over 400 full-time staff. Then COVID hit, and we nearly doubled our staff to now we have nearly 800 full-time staff. 5 years ago, we were helping about 100,000 poor people per year, and now we're reaching more than 250,000 people every year. And we've expanded dramatically. We've already reached these areas on the map. We are launching a new campaign, and we think 5 years from now, we hope that we will be able to complete the task. We've been bowled over by the results of our international pilots. In Uganda, we are now in our 6th batch of Transform. We have 33 full-time Ugandans working for ICM. The results of Transform in Africa are often even more dramatic than they are in the Philippines. In Uganda, we already have graduated 25,000 family members. We have started 130 savings groups. 98% of those savings groups are still active today. The Ugandans, those poor Ugandans, they have less cash than the Filipinos. They have already saved $130,000 of their own money. In Africa, our data indicates that Transform improves drinking water, hand washing, it reduces severe hunger. And in just a few weeks, we're in Central America. We are graduating more than 1,000 family members from our very first full Transform program in Guatemala. We have hired a dozen ICM staff in Guatemala. Honestly, not all of them speak English, but they are so excited to be part of their very first banquet. So they gathered this morning together before dawn, and they are joining us live. ICM is also we're hoping to expand into 4 or 5 more countries in the next few years. We are considering Cambodia, Madagascar, South Sudan, Burundi, maybe even India. Our objective is to prove that the poverty reduction strategy that was birthed here in Hong Kong and the Philippines can reduce poverty all over the world. But still, 95% of ICM's budget is focused on the Philippines. Our programs in the Philippines are so huge, we don't expect that ratio to change much. We are all about scale. So, when you hear all of that, how do you react to all of those innovations? And honestly, it's just a portion of what's happening at ICM. You add all those innovations up, you combine decades of relentless execution, means more than 1 million lives have already been impacted, and millions more are going to be changed in the future. So, was it worth it for me to walk away from business for the last decade? Absolutely. I don't feel like I've sacrificed much. I feel honored to be here. Of course, I've had a hand in crafting those strategies, but I didn't do it by myself. The 10,000 ICM pastors are heroic. The 800 ICM staff, they bring wisdom and passion every day. And I am grateful for many of you tonight, our stakeholders who have trusted us with advice and resources to make a real difference. So as we celebrate ICM's 30 years together, I hope many of you share my gratitude and you understand that the part that you all played to make this happen. When we ran our first Hong Kong banquet, ICM was a fraction of our current size. From those humble beginnings, together we have seen ICM help so many people. Many of you were the ones that gave resources to accomplish all of this, so later in our program you will hear from our auctioneer, and Christine will thank you from the bottom of her heart. I know she does it every day. And I want you to know that we really mean it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be hearing a little more from Dave later on. We've heard that in Manila you have a little bit of an audio issue. Manila, I hope you're still with us. I hope you can hear us loud and clear. We're working very hard back there to make sure that you can hear us loud and clear. But Manila, we're working on it. Thank you for staying with us. But ladies and gentlemen, for now, you need to know that the first lot of prizes in our auction will be closing in just a few minutes. So now is your chance to start getting those final bids in.
And it is time for our quiz. See, I wasn't joking. So during the first half of Dave's keynote, he gave more than 40 different statistics. And in our opening video, there were dozens of numbers too. So it's time to see who was actually paying attention in the ICM 30th anniversary quiz.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and take out your phones. You're going to go to icm.oph.hk and you will see in the menu there is a quiz. Now, if you haven't registered on the app yet, please do so now if you want to play, because the winner of our quiz is going to win a USB portable speaker. We have a prize here in Hong Kong. We have one in Manila. And there are 4 questions. You can go ahead and look now. Whoever answers all 4 correctly in the fastest time wins the prize and gets a job in ICM's research team. Yes. It's as simple as that. So are you ready? You can start whenever you're ready. We will be awarding a winner here in Hong Kong. We'll be awarding in the Philippines. You can discuss among your tables. Okay, so here we go.
Question number 1. What year did ICM start?
That should be an easy one. It's our 30th anniversary. Okay, second, how many people is ICM providing healthcare to through our community health workers? I bet you wish you were paying a little bit more attention now, right?
Question 3, what is the average income increase for ultra-poor families after 4 months of Transform?
Okay, and the 4th and final question, and then Winnie is going to give me the winners. How many vegetable seeds has ICM distributed in our 30-year history? Okay, so we're going to give you a few more seconds to get your answers in. Remember, we've got a winner here in Hong Kong. We'll have one winner in the Philippines. Okay, Winnie's nodding her head. That means we've got a winner. Winnie, come up to the stage. Everybody give a hand for Winnie. Okay, so our winner here in Hong Kong is, oh, here we go.
Tim, 6801, paddle number 6801.
Of course. Okay, and our winner in the Philippines is?
Leah, 2601.
Leah, 2601, you've won it in the Philippines. 2601, you've won the quiz in the Philippines, Leah. And our final winner in the rest of the world is bidder number?
Andrew, 9011.
Congratulations, Andrew. I think you might be in the United States, wherever you are. Thanks for playing the quiz. And so the answers very, very quickly. Of course, ICM was started in 1992. Tim, you should probably be doing this, not me. Today, we're providing healthcare to 115,000 people. Transform increases income by 107%. And ICM has distributed a massive 527 million vegetable seeds, all thanks to your generosity. Thank you, and thanks for playing.
Now we have just over a minute left on the first 60 lots in our auction. Let's take a look at our leading bidders as we start the countdown.
Okay, so yes, we've just got 1 minute left. on those silent auction prizes. Let's take a look and see who's winning. We can even see the flag of the country who's leading. So we've got Mona in the Philippines. You're about to win that beautiful necklace. Let's take a look at that countdown. How long do we have left? 40 seconds. 40 seconds, okay. Gretchen, you're about to get some beautiful earrings. Don't leave it till the last minute. We don't know if your internet is lagging overseas, so get those bids in quickly. You don't want to be caught out on a technical error. 28 seconds left. There's some beautiful jewelry. There's some fantastic trips. There's even some lovely bottles of Hong Kong gin. There's Philippine gin. We've got 17 seconds, 15 seconds. Don't lose out. Come on, get those bids in now. We've got Wanda about to take that vase home. Some anonymous bidders here in Hong Kong, in the Philippines. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is it. Congratulations to all of those winners. Missy, you've got Flower Cart. Don, you're going home with that painting lag. Ken, you've got the On My Mind. Dominica, you've got your painting. Congratulations, Dominica. We've got lots of anonymous winners. Hans, congratulations. You've got the My Yahin series. Some beautiful paintings going here. One day, anonymous bidders from the Philippines, from Hong Kong. Thank you so much. Kenneth, you also got Acid Rain. Dave got 4 p.m. Hong Kong time. Wanda, you got the charging, the beautiful, beautiful photo. Saren, you got the Hoppy Goes to Hong Kong artwork. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Farmhouse was anonymous winner. Gretchen, you got that Brighter Tomorrow. Thank you so much. Sherry, you got the ballet. Jeff, Four Seasons. Scottsdale, Arizona. Off you go. Thank you so much. Congratulations for winning that one. Christopher, you got the box camera portrait session. Congratulations. Sheila Catilo is doing a beautiful family portrait session. Helen, you got this music studio. Thank you for your bid. Song, you got the Clearwater Bay Golf. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Annalie, you won there. Anthony, you got the necklace and bracelet. Michael, you got that beautiful diamond necklace. And Mona got that necklace. I think I have congratulated every single winner. So.
And now we're heading back to Manila to hear about all the items up for grab at Lot 2.
Oh, hello again and congratulations to all the winners. But if you lost on Lot 1, don't worry, there's plenty to choose from on Lot 2. So keep on bidding.
Sabay sa Alan is the eye-catching artwork by Kristen Lim. And Nicola Jose created this beautiful piece, Dancing in the Sky.
Brian Yan's photo, The Hunch, completely captures the Hong Kong vibe and it's Lot 220.
We have 2 amazing mountain homes in the U.S. in Lot 2. A ski chalet in Beaver Creek, Colorado, and a home with a breathtaking view of the Virginia Blue Ridge Mountains is Lot 229.
This limited edition blue crystal vase by Lalique is lot number 264, and we have so much stunning jewelry on offer still. My highlights are the Secret Garden necklace and the Fears Born Free diamond ring. So it's time to bid.
More from us later.
Happy bidding!
Happy bidding to you also in Manila. Thank you, Mary Jane and Rizal. Now, ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention once more as we welcome back David Sutherland.
Well, just a few last minutes here. I recently traveled to a poor ICM community in Davao, and a savings group leader there named Rachel, she raved about ICM had changed the lives in their community. Their community had saved more than $1,000 US. They had started their own store. Rachel was so excited. It turned out Rachel had given birth just 3 days earlier. This is Deanna with their newborn baby named Gavin. I mean, Rachel really shouldn't have been up and around, but she didn't want to miss the chance to say thank you to the people that had brought hope to her community. So you may wonder, why do I bother to visit ICM communities at all? I mean, I could stay in the office and learn most of what I need by just poring over the spreadsheets, but listen, we all need to be energized, right? I mean, seeing faces is so powerful. It happens in all areas of life. Why do you think our world gets so riveted by a few tied children in a cave, but we ignore hundreds of thousands of nameless people who die unnecessarily each year. Sociologists say that this is something that where the human beings, they value an identified life at 10,000 times more than an unidentified life. We feel that same impact from a photo of a single child that died in a negligent hospital accident compared to 10,000 unknown people who died in car accidents. So when forming ICM's approach, we had that same temptation. We had to decide between providing deep help to a handful of individuals that we personally met, or are we going to provide much larger group of help to unidentified people. So we used our business background to apply rigor when making decisions around poverty. It's easy to get tempted and focus on a few needy people and overlook the large groups. So we built ICM to respond to the specific needs as much as we can, but our main goal is to change the lives of large numbers of people. If we had not taken that approach, then ICM would not be the organization that we are today. So ICM is a lot bigger now than we were a decade ago. Some donors think that ICM has gotten too big for their donation to matter, but that is not true. Every year, the ICM board decides how many lives we are able to change based on available resources. And we are constantly forced to say no to needy communities that are ready because we don't have the required cash. So I urge you not to think about the gross amount of ICM's budget. Think about our incremental budget, because even small donations allow us to change more lives. And I speak from experience. Making decisions as a donor is not easy. There are so many worthwhile causes. There are so many heroic leaders. But when you find the right cause, when you find the right charity, it all comes together. And that magic happens when we use our giving to change lots and lots of lives. And at the same time, we receive benefits for ourselves too. But don't take my word for it. Hear it from yourselves.
I would. I would. I would.
Huh. All right, listen, I apologize. We'll put it on the net. You guys can see it. But at any rate, we heard stories of how ICM had changed the lives of the family members of the donors. And so it is powerful. Of course, ICM has, on my side, has had a massive impact on my own children as well. In fact, my daughter, she chose her entire career around what she learned at ICM. It was just a few days ago that my daughter, Corey, was in Ghana and Tanzania. She was overseeing some randomized controlled trials for USAID. So I'm pretty proud of her. I know it's a little bit weird, but the truth is I got to be nice to my own children now that when we have a family gathering, because my kids have become sizable ICM donors in their own right. But tonight, I want to reflect on a different group of children that I have watched grow. The first performance for the ICM choir was at my 50th birthday. That was a dozen years ago. I would be grateful if you'd not do the math. Most of our original choir members are now on ICM scholarships at a university. There are still a few of them that are performing, and 6 years ago, we also added a second group of kids. I have been to these children's homes. I have gotten to know their friends and become friends with their parents. The choir kids are from very challenging backgrounds, but now that choir has performed more than 300 times. I have personally witnessed more than 100 performances. I have seen them in Bacolod, Manila, Davao, Dumaguete, Cebu, of course in Hong Kong, but also in LA, San Francisco, Seattle, Chicago, New York, DC, Arizona. These kids, they've changed my life. And I have such respect for their tenacity to fight their way out of poverty. What an honor it is to see that happen over a decade. So tonight, as part of our 30th anniversary, the choir will perform one of their original songs, and you will see videos of them as they grow up. So, ladies and gentlemen, meet again the ICM's Children Choir. They're performing live in Manila.
the dirty water. Sometimes I have no money for food at school, but I go every day because I want to learn. Now I am an ICM scholar in the STAR section of my class. My name is Tammy and I'm 12. There are 7 children in my family. Most of the time we eat plain rice for our meals. I want to be a basketball player someday. My name is Rizal. I'm 9 years old. My father is a tricycle driver and earns 150 pesos per day. We live here as squatters, and the landowner is forcing our neighbors to move.
My name is Joshua and I'm 14 years old. My mom works for ICN Weather Project and my father is a fisherman. Sometimes I wake up at 3 in the morning to help my father fish.
My name is Trisha Ann and I'm 10 years old. My parents separated when I was young and left me and my brother with my grandma. My name is Nika. I'm 11 years old. We used to live by the seaside, but the landowner forced us to move here. I love learning. My name is Leslie. I'm 11 years old. My dad used to be a carpenter, but now he can't work because of his illness.
Overcome, I believe. I'm the one to break free. Overcome, I believe. I'm the one to break free. Overcome, I believe. I'm the one to break free. Overcome, I believe. I'm the one to break free. Overcome, I believe. I'm the one to break free. Overcome, I believe. I'm the one to break free. Overcome, I believe. I'm the one to break the wall. Overcome, I believe. I'm the one to overcome. Overcome, I believe. I'm the one to break the way. So I believe. I'm the one way with you. I believe.
To you, the choir, wow, that was absolutely beautiful. It's you, the choir, that I fell in love with the International Care Ministries 9 years ago. And truly, my life and the life of my family has never been the same. Choir, you inspire us. And we are joining arms and hands with you. We believe with you. And tonight, we're going to work so hard together to make a difference. I want to welcome everyone again here in Hong Kong. It is so great to be back. It is a joy for me. It is an honor to be with you tonight for my 8th trip to Hong Kong. It's starting to feel like home. But I have to tell you, part of my heart is in Manila, Philippines tonight. I've met so many of those people, the choir, and I have to tell you, all 500 people plus in Manila, Philippines, we couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much to all of you in Manila tonight. But I also have to thank the United States. There's so many people back home, whether it's early in the morning or really, really early in the morning, gathering to make a difference for ICM back in the United States, Australia, Germany, the UK, Switzerland. You heard Dave say there is probably close to 20 countries, and we are joining hands tonight. We are believing together. And you know what? Forget the technology. Guess what? We worked so hard on technology today, this week, but we are going to overcome that tonight. We are going to make a difference. And tonight we are going to join hands and arms together. We are going to believe and we are going to make a difference. I have to tell you, this organization is personal to my family and myself. 9 years ago, I thought that I was just going to work professionally with ICM. Little did I know, they would steal my heart. And the heart of my husband, who you would have seen in the video, the heart of my children, Elsie and Harris in Chicago and Texas at college, my parents who are watching tonight, close to 80, my in-laws, my sister-in-law, the list goes on and on and on. Like many of you, we have fallen in love with International Care Ministries. We have been to the Philippines 3 times to see their work on the ground. And ICM sits at the top rung of critical work, the highest calling of kingdom work. It doesn't get any better than this. And to you, the donors and supporters here in Hong Kong, Manila, the U.S., and across the world, we couldn't do it without your help. And we are so incredibly grateful. At this time, we've come to the most important time of the night, the most exciting and impactful time of the night where we can make the greatest difference. We're going to work together. This is going to be a world international working together to make a difference. What we're going to do is we're going to send as many people as we possibly can, men, women, and children, through the Transform program. And the more money we raise, the more people that we get to send through the program. And I'm telling you, they will never be the same. Their lives are truly transformed. What a gift. We're going to give this gift to countless people tonight. What a joy to serve across the world and join arms together in this gift of Transform. And our goal tonight is going to be a goal of participation. That all of you in Hong Kong, no pressure. All of you in Manila, no pressure. Back in the United States, whatever country you're in, we want you to consider giving at a level that's meaningful to you. We want everyone to participate. That's our goal. But if you remember one thing tonight, when you lay your head on the pillow, wherever you are across the world, just by learning more about International Care Ministries, no matter what happens tonight, no matter how much money we raise, just by being here, being wherever you are, at home, wherever you are, learning more about this great organization, it absolutely means the world to us. Before we begin, before we work as a team, before we dig deep, I'm going to have Louise tell you how this is going to work.
So to be able to participate in making a donation this evening, we'll be using the same platform as we've been using for the silent auction. So you can go ahead and take out your phones and open up that page. The link, again, if you haven't logged on yet, is icm.oph.hk. And once you're logged in the menu at the top left corner, you can navigate to the Pledge to Transform page. And if you're having any difficulty at all, you can email us at banquet@caremin.com. And Christine is going to lead us in this wonderful moment.
That's right. As you heard me say, it's going to take all of us. It is going to be a world effort, but we're going to make a tremendous difference in the lives of others. I'm going to say it one more time because it's so important and it's so exciting. At this time, we're going to raise as much money as we possibly can to send as many Filipino people, men, women, and children, through the Transform program. Their lives will never be the same. With the goal of participation that everyone considers giving at a level meaningful to you. Let's go. Here we go. It's exciting. Is there anyone willing to consider kicking us off at 800,000 Hong Kong dollars? That's 100,000 US dollars. That's going to transform the lives of 10,000 people. Anyone at 800,000 Hong Kong? Anyone at 800,000 Hong Kong? 800,000 Hong Kong. We have bidder number 6004. That's 800,000 Hong Kong dollars, 100,000 US dollars. That's bidder number 6044. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we are grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for kicking us off tonight. Anyone else at 800,000 Hong Kong? We're going to move to 600,000 Hong Kong. That is 75,000 US dollars. That's 3,750,000 pesos. That's going to transform the lives of 7,500 people. Anyone at 600,000 Hong Kong? Anyone at 600,000 Hong Kong? Here we go. Would anyone like to give? We're absolutely doing great. Anyone at 600,000 Hong Kong? Thank you. Thank you. That's bidder number 6018 coming in from Hong Kong. Thank you. Bidder number 9153. Give them a round of applause at $600,000. Again, that was 6018 at $600,000. That was bidder number 19153 at $600,000. Thank you, thank you, thank you for what you've done tonight. We're going to move to 400,000 Hong Kong dollars. That's 50,000 US dollars. That is 2,500,000 pesos. We're going to transform the lives of 5,000 people. Here we go. We need your help. We are grateful. How many people want to give 400,000 Hong Kong dollars? Here we go. Anyone at $400,000? Thank you. That is bidder number 9200 at $400,000. Coming in from Hong Kong, we have bidder number 6037 at $400,000. Thank you for what you've done tonight. Anyone else at 400,000? Bidder number 7602. That was 7602 at $400,000. Thank you for what you've done tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for what you've done. At this time, we have an extremely special announcement that in my world, and I'm learning every day with God's help. But in my world of auctioneering, this doesn't happen every day, what we're about to tell you. It's a big deal, and it's very exciting. Dave, I want you to tell them all about what's next.
I'm good here. Maybe I'll go over here. All right, sorry. So listen, those of you who have been to this auction before, maybe you kind of heard this happen because we've got a very generous foundation called Find Us Faithful Foundation, and a few years ago they set up a matching fund that they have been pleased with how that has gone out. So we are excited to share that yet again, Find Us Faithful is offered to provide matching funds to anyone who donates here, and they will match up to 500,000 US dollars. That is about 4 million Hong Kong. They will match 25 million pesos. That's pretty amazing, right? So we want to say thank you to Find Us Faithful. This year, Find Us Faithful is going to match any gift that is made between 10,000 US dollars and 25,000 US dollars. That's 80 to 200,000 Hong Kong dollars, between 500,000 pesos and 1.5 million pesos. Any amount that you give within that range will be matched dollar for dollar by Find Us Faithful. And that will mean the impact of your giving is doubled. So if you give more than 25,000, then the first 25 is matched. So just so we can all be clear, just a little quiz. If you were to give 9,000 US dollars, how much matching? None, right? You give $10,000, the matching is 10. If you were to give somewhere in the middle, like 16,000, the matching is 16,000. If you're heroic, you give 25, the matching is 25. If you reach beyond that, you were to give 40,000 US dollars, the matching is capped at 25. All right, I hope that's clear. I'm going to be a little honest with you here. A little nervous about all of this. We've had technology problems. I don't know how that affects all of you. I hope you understand that no poor people got any richer because our tech didn't work. So, but before COVID, we had between 55 and 70 tables in the Hong Kong Convention Center. Last year, we had 37 tables in Hong Kong. This year, we have 23 tables in Hong Kong. So the stakes are more serious for us. We've don't really mean to put any pressure, but we have done the numbers, and it's for us to get this to work. It means we're going to need a few people who would normally give 5,000 to give 10,000. For a few people to be heroic and reach up to that 25,000 level, we need some of that huge crowd in Manila to help us to match the gap there. So. At any rate, I guess I will turn that over. If you could help us out, you could unleash a huge amount of resources to help ultra-poor families, mothers, children. So thank you very much. We'd be grateful. Christine.
I have to say to the Find Us Faithful folks back in the States, I had the great honor of meeting many of you just a few weeks ago. But simply put, on behalf of everybody at International Care Ministries, the almost 800 staff, the board members, all the donors across the world, you have been so faithful. I don't have the right words to you folks that Find Us Faithful for the ripple effect and the impact that you have had on the lives of others when we are incredibly grateful. Again, matching up to 500,000 US dollars. Thank you to the good folks at Find Us Faithful. We are so grateful for your support tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, at the 200,000 Hong Kong level, at 25,000 US dollars, at 1,250,000 pesos, we're going to transform the lives of 2,500 people. And guess what? Every dollar will be matched dollar for dollar. That's 200,000 Hong Kong dollars. How many people want to give? We need your help. We are grateful. How many people want to give at $200,000 Hong Kong? Again, how many people want to give at $200,000 Hong Kong? Thank you. That's bidder number 6044. Bidder number 7204. Bidder number 6506. Bidder number 6404. Bidder number 6505. I'm excited. Bidder number 7204. And another one. I'm excited. Thank you, thank you, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for making a difference. Look at all those people. Give them one more round of applause. Coming in at 200,000 Hong Kong dollars. We are so grateful. We're going to now move to the 80,000 Hong Kong dollars. That's 10,000 US dollars. You heard Dave say it, but I'm going to say it again because it's so special and so important. Every dollar between 10,000 and 25,000 US dollars. That is between 80,000 Hong Kong and 200,000 Hong Kong will be matched dollar for dollar. Here we go again at 80,000 Hong Kong dollars. This is going to be matched dollar for dollar. This is 500,000 peso. We're going to transform the lives of 1,000 people. How many people want to give? Bidder number 6007. Bidder number 6029. Bidder number 6807. Thank you for what you've done. Anyone else at 80,000? Thank you. Bidder number 6808. Bidder number 7500. Bidder number 7409. Who's excited? I can just see my kids dancing back home. Bidder number 9910. Bidder number 6801. I am excited. Bidder number 6202. Another 80,000. We had a few 100,000 and another 100,000 and another 100,000 and another 80,000. Look at all that money. You know what I call this? This is participation. Look at all that money and coming in from the Philippines. We have $80,000 from the Philippines. Another $80,000 from the Philippines. Another $80,000 from the Philippines. Another $80,000 from the Philippines. We have bidder number 2103, 2101, bidder number 3490. You know what? This makes me want to dance. Bidder number 9164, bidder number 8009, bidder number 6214. Look at all that money come in. Thank you, thank you, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for making a difference. Thank you for what you've done. You know what this calls for? You tell me if this is going to work, Louise. I can just hear and feel their joy in the bases. I can feel that 800 staff in the bases cheering. Look how excited they are. Look at how excited the choir is tonight. We have staff all over the Philippines, almost 800. Uganda, Guatemala, they are cheering. Can you hear me? They're excited. I'm dancing. I'm dancing in Hong Kong because I am so excited. And staff, we couldn't be more proud of the work that you do. Staff, we're excited. Staff, we're excited. Staff, we're grateful. Let's keep raising money. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move to the 40,000 Hong Kong. That's 5,000 US dollars. We're going to keep working together as a team. Every dollar makes a difference tonight. Every gift is equally appreciated. At this level, 500 lives will be transformed. And you know what? Their lives will never be the same. This is 250,000 pesos. Again, at the Hong Kong $40,000 level, we need your help. We are so grateful. How many people want to give at 40,000 Hong Kong? How many people at 40,000 Hong Kong? Thank you. That's bidder number 6407 coming in. Bidder number 6706 coming in. Thank you. Bidder number from the Philippines. Bidder number 2105, bidder number 4707, bidder number 9164. Thank you for making a difference. 9602. Look at all the money here in Hong Kong. Bidder number 6503. I'm excited. Bidder number 9955. We had a 60,000 Hong Kong come in. Look at all that money. This is what I call participation. Give all of those folks a round of applause for what they've done tonight. Here's another one coming in from Hong Kong. That was bidder number 6911. Look at all the money from the Philippines. Bidder number 6405 at $40,000. Thank you, thank you, thank you for what you've done tonight. You are making a tremendous difference, but guess what? We are not going to stop. We are going to keep going. We are in this together across the world. We're going to do the best we can to send as many ultra-poor Filipinos through the Transform program. Coming in from the Philippines in Manila, bidder number 3202. They're watching. They're excited. Thank you to over 500 people that showed up in Manila tonight. We are so grateful. Oh my gosh, we just had an 80,000 bidder 3202 coming in from the Philippines. We're going to now move to the 20,000 Hong Kong. That's 2,500 US dollars. You're going to transform the lives of 250 people. Again, 125 Filipino pesos. Here we go. Let's put as many people as we possibly can through this program. We need your help at 20,000 Hong Kong dollars. How many people want to give? Here we go. Bidder number 8806, bidder number 8803, bidder number 5008 at 40,000 Hong Kong dollars. Bidder number 7704 from Hong Kong at $27,000. Bidder number 7703 at 20,000 Hong Kong dollars. Here we go. That money keeps coming in. I can just see my kids back home. Harris in Texas, Elsie in Chicago. Your mom is dancing across the world for International Care Ministries. We're having so much fun and we're raising so much money tonight. You know what? May the good Lord be glorified by all that we're doing together and all the kingdom work that we're doing tonight. Anyone else at 20,000 Hong Kong? Anyone else? You know what? We're going to move to our final level tonight. That's 8,000 Hong Kong dollars, 1,000 US dollars. You're going to transform the lives of 100 people. That is 50,000 peso. But I have to tell you this, it's super important. No matter how much money you give tonight, please remember this. Every dollar is equally appreciated. Every dollar will make a difference tonight. We are so grateful. At our final level tonight, join with me with the goal of participation that everybody considers giving at a level meaningful to you. How many people want to give? We need your help. We're grateful. 8,000 Hong Kong dollars. Here we go. How many people at 8,000 Hong Kong dollars? Here we go. That's bidder number 7210 from the Philippines, 1720. Bidder number 6304. Bidder number 7300. Bidder number 6208. We have an anonymous Hong Kong at $20,000. We have $8,000, 7305, 3403 at 20,000 Hong Kong dollars. Thank you from the Philippines. Bidder number 6508 at 8,000. 7111 at $8,000. This is what I call participation. Look at all the money coming in. Bidder number 7309. Thank you, whoever you are. Bidder number 7804. Bidder number 7010. Thank you, thank you, thank you for making a difference tonight. Look at this money. Anyone else tonight? 9301, 7401 at $8,000 and another one and 15,000 Hong Kong dollars. That's bidder number 7208. Oh my gosh, stop. Oh my gosh. Did you see what just happened? We had 200,000 Hong Kong dollars. That's 8300. 80,000 Hong Kong dollars. 3500. Bidder number 8311 at $10,000. Bidder number 4500 coming in from Manila at 8,000. 7801 at 10,000. 2400 at 8,000. We've got another one from the Philippines. Thank you. Bidder number 0305. Thank you, thank you, thank you for what you've done tonight. And another one, 2901 from the Philippines. You know what? I could do this all day. I could do this all day. Tonight's a special night. We're raising money for International Care Ministries. There's a couple things I want to say. First of all, I don't know what the number is, but thanks to all of you here tonight in Manila, in the States, across the world, we just raised a ton of money. We're going to spend so many people through the Transform program. I want to give another special thank you to the over 500 people that showed up in Manila. Part of my heart is with you tonight. I want to thank the choir for inspiring us. We believe with you, and we're grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We just raised a ton of money. This was an opportunity across the world, and we couldn't have done it without you. And for that, we're so grateful. Thank you for making a tremendous difference in the lives of others. And if there's one thing I want you to know, it's this. You'll never be able to measure the ripple effect that you've had on the lives of others. We're so grateful. Louise?
I just want to say thank you so much to Christine, and we just want to take a moment also to thank you for any pledges that were under 8,000. Every single dollar that has been donated this evening. It's just so exciting to see all of your pledges flooding in from across the world. And can we just cut to that Zoom feed of the staff one more time? They've been waving their banners, they've been holding their balloons. They're all celebrating 30 years, and some of those staff have worked for ICM for 30 years. So thank you, ICM staff. We love you, and we're so happy. And can we just thank Christine one more time? Thank you, Christine. So ladies and gentlemen, you can still make pledges. We are not closing that system. It's going to stay open for the next few hours, and we'll be giving you some payment instructions in the next few minutes. But before we do that, Dave, someone's excited to pay. Dave has one more very important opportunity that he would like to share with us. Dave?
Well, thank you all very much. I want to echo everyone's thanks. Really exciting to see how it all works here. So here in Hong Kong, it really feels like the atmosphere is electric, and around the world too, I believe. I know that every one of our staff are cheering every single gift. So listen, I told you earlier about this lady named Rachel. She had just given birth to a baby named Gavin when Deanna and I visited. You remember that story? So that was 5 months ago when we visited her, but just a few weeks ago, just as we were getting ready for this banquet, she saw that her little baby was starting to lose weight. So she took him to the hospital for a checkup, and after a few difficult consultations at the hospital, which cost more than she could afford, the doctor eventually told her that her little son, Gavin, has congenital heart disease, and the baby needs surgery. This is the baby that Deanna held when we were there. Because of his poor health, he had also contracted pneumonia, and the doctor said without the operation that the little baby would likely die. So the ICM health team immediately enrolled Gavin into ICM's Medical Mercy Fund, and we provided funding for patients to receive care. So ICM has about a dozen medical coordinators across the Philippines who walk aside patients, who provide them with physical, emotional support throughout the treatment. And in Davao, Noella is the medical staff, and she confirmed that baby, Gavin, is now scheduled for operation in 2 months' time, as the doctor suggested. We are praying he makes a full recovery, and we hope we can share results of his good news in time for Christmas. So every year, ICM is able to treat about 100 children and adults who need life-changing surgeries. We also treat almost 1,000 non-surgical patients. 4 members of this family in Palawan can now see for the first time in their lives after they've received eye surgery. It has totally changed their lives because now Gloria and her sons can work for the first time. This is Jack. He's receiving support for a rare blood condition. Joven has had a tumor removed from his cheek, and Deanna and I had a little chance to visit this little guy, Joshua. He had surgery for his cleft lip. Israel is now receiving treatment as we speak for tuberculosis and severe malnutrition. And this little girl, Anne, she had a badly broken arm, but we paid for her surgery, and now she thinks she's Popeye. So your gifts tonight will help us fund the Medical Mercy Fund, and that will truly change lives. So, Christine?
Thank you, Dave. I do want to tell you, I promise all of you, after this, I'm not going to ask for money one more time. I promise you. But as you heard Dave say, this is a special fund, and this raises a lot of money. And guess what? This changes lives forever. It's a critical fund, a critical time of raising money together so people can have treatments. As you heard Dave say, every year about 1,000 people are able to receive treatment because of you. And I want to tell you that we're going to encourage people to give at the 40,000 Hong Kong level or above for this fund. At 40,000 Hong Kong dollars, that will treat about 10 people, and their lives will be changed forever. I personally have a story of witnessing this. About 5 years ago, my husband and I were here in Hong Kong, and we went up to the hospital at Matilda, and we visited a young boy with club feet. And he was just about to have the surgery, and I asked him, I said, "What is your dream?" And he said, "It is my dream to run someday." And at that time, he could barely walk. We came back the next year, and he was walking after that surgery. We came back 2 years later, and we brought him a pair of running shoes because he had accomplished his dream, and he was running. This fund changes lives forever. And again, we're so thankful, and we can't do it without your help. In your bidding platform, it will say Pledge Medical. Again, at this time, we're encouraging people to give at 40,000 Hong Kong or above. I'll say it one more time. At 40,000 Hong Kong dollars, the lives of about 10 people, give or take, will be treated, and they'll be changed forever. How many people want to give 40,000 Hong Kong dollars? Again, in your bidding platform, it says Pledge Medical. Our goal is a goal of participation, that we raise as much money as we possibly can. Let's help as many people as we possibly can. That's bidder number 6811, bidder number 6400, bidder number 7400, bidder number 9153 at 40,000 Hong Kong. Thank you, thank you, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for making a tremendous difference. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to open it up. We've got another one. Bidder number 9108 at 40,000 Hong Kong. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for making a difference. At this time, we're going to open it up to all levels. Maybe that's less than 40,000 Hong Kong. Maybe that is more than 40,000 Hong Kong. We're going to open up this fund to all levels, and you're welcome to give, and we are so grateful. Every dollar makes a difference, and every gift will be equally appreciated. Thank you. That is coming in from the Philippines. Bidder number 5108, 6304, 7908. You're going to see the money just coming and coming and coming. Here we go, and it's more, and it's more, and it's more, and more people will be able to be treated. Thank you to all of those folks. You're welcome to give at any level. Every dollar will make a difference, and the more money we raise, the more people that can have treatment. As that money keeps scrolling in, we are so thankful, but I'm going to stop. Before I leave this stage tonight, there's just 3 things that I want to say. First of all, to you, the donors, whether you're in Hong Kong, Manila, the United States, the UK, Germany, Australia, Switzerland, the countries are countless. To you, the donors, tonight the money we raised was so impactful. We raised a ton of money, and we could have never done that without your help. We did this together across the world. We made a tremendous difference, and to you, the donors, and another one from Manila, 2006 at $40,000. Give them a round of applause for what they did. I can't thank you, donors, enough. wherever you are, I can't thank you enough for the difference that you've made in the lives of others. When you lay your head on the pillow tonight, know that we're grateful and know that you have a tremendous ripple effect. And I have one more thing to say to you, the staff. Can we go back to the staff for just a minute? Over 800 staff in the Philippines, in Uganda, in Guatemala. To you, the staff, are you excited? Look at the staff. They're so excited. Staff, we want to tell you this. We are so proud of you. To you, the staff, you've answered the highest calling. You have said yes to kingdom work. To you, the staff, we couldn't be more proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. To you, the staff, we believe in you and God's richest blessings to you. Thank you from all of us to you, the staff, for making a tremendous difference in the lives of others. And to you, everyone else watching and across the world, again, from the bottom of our hearts, we say thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much to absolutely everyone who has given tonight. We are so grateful. And now we have just 1 minute remaining on our final silent auction Lot 2 prizes. So I know some of you have been checking back. Let's take a look and see who is winning. We're at a 52-second countdown here. Let's take a look. We still have some of those beautiful artworks up for grabs. You've got a few more seconds left to get those bids in. We've got some fantastic jewelry. We've got some artwork. The beautiful All for Love gold jewelry set. We've got some bracelets, earrings there. Angeline is about to win some of those beautiful paintings. Now, 25 seconds left. Manila, I think you have a slight delay on your audio, so please get your last bids in now. Do not miss out. We've got Gretchen about to go home with that beautiful Frutas painting. Let's take a look at the countdown. 13 seconds left. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is it. Pamela won that beautiful Symphony of Waters. Congratulations, Pam. Olivia, you got Lovebirds. The Hanj went for 16,000. Fantastic. Michael, you got Dancing in the Sky. Thank you. Megan, 80,000 Shangri-La points. Congratulations, Megan. And Sarah, you got the ballet. Ken has got that 150,000 Shangri-La circle points. Enjoy those. And Dennis, you're going skiing in Beaver Creek. Thank you so much. Nicholas, you got a private mahjong course. Chia, you got a personal training session. I hope you enjoy that. Nicole, you're going to the chiropractor. Fiona, you won as well. Denise, you got a family lifestyle photo shoot. Judith, you're going for a baking workshop. Thank you so much, Judith. Nicholas got that beautiful pink star ruby. I had my eye on that one, I have to say. Christopher, you got a beautiful diamond necklace. And Christy, you got that ruby brooch. Gretchen, you got some lovely jade earrings and a brooch. Congratulations. And someone got in with a sneaky $10,001 there on the Transformer teardrop earrings. The $1 clinched it. Moira, you got the beautiful diamond necklace. Thank you so much. Angeline, that beautiful diamond ring with the Puma. Thank you for your donation. You won it. Dixon, you got the Chardonnay. Cynthia, you got the tumbler set. Robin, you've got that lovely gin made in Hong Kong. Anthony, you got the Arts of the Sea clamshell. Thank you so much. Judith, you got the Mystic Island wine. Michael, you got that gorgeous crystal vase. Thank you so, so much. So many winners. Thank you so much. Well, I have to say, I think I haven't applauded this much all year. My hands are actually literally aching. Dave's lost his voice a tiny little bit. We are so excited, but thank you so much. Now, I've come to a little bit of close to the end, but I've come to a very important time, which is to explain how you can now all pay and donate for all of those items you've won and how you can fulfill your pledges. So if you've made a pledge or you've won an auction items, you'll receive an SMS with the payment link. You can click in that link and you'll be directed to this page on the auction website, and you can also find it here in the menu. You'll see a summary of all of your pledges towards Transform, to the Medical Mercy Fund, and any auction items that you've won. And so we do have guests from around the world, as we saw, who are donating. So you have a few different options for the tax receipts, for the payments. It's important to please choose the right tax receipt for you. You can choose receipts from Hong Kong, from the US, the Philippines, or the UK. And there's an option there, Hong Kong and US. That's for US citizens living in Hong Kong to give to Friends of Hong Kong charities to receive a tax deduction in both countries. And if you don't require a tax receipt at all, you can choose that option too. Now, when you're donating by credit card, if you'd like 100% of your donation to go directly to ICM, you can opt to cover the 3% credit card fee. And lastly, choose your payment method. Now, if you are giving by credit card details, enter your details, and ICM uses a secure third party to receive card information. It's never stored by us, so don't worry. And if you're paying by check or bank transfer, you'll receive instructions and be asked to confirm your contact email. We'll be in touch about any payment queries. So please ask your table attendant for assistance or for any payment questions. And is Dave here? Okay, I think Dave might have some very exciting news for us. He's been ferociously doing his sums. Dave, what would you like to tell us?
Oh, we are moments away from having a total number here. I was just out, they're just adding up the final of the last lot here. I'm waiting for my text message, but I can tell you this. Of the $500,000 of matching funds, we successfully raised $380,000 of that. Very grateful for that. It leaves us $120,000 to match, and you know, there are a few people that weren't able to be here tonight, so we'll be calling a few of them in the next few days and try to finish this up. Oh, wait, I got my numbers now. Hold on one second. Just give me a second. I got to look at what it says. So it says that tonight, tonight we raised a total of 1.6 million Hong Kong dollars, which is right at 2 million US dollars. So, Sorry. Wait.
You know, Dave,
am I wrong?
Dave's
currency.
not very good
wrong
with the
currency.
numbers, I have to say.
Just for the record, he told me he was sending me Hong Kong dollars, but he sent me US dollars. We raised 1.6 million US dollars. That's what we did. Wrong currency. All right. And in our experience, it is usually natural that at least a little bit more kind of comes in the next few days. So we just want to say thank you very, very much. This has been a tough time last year or two, and you know, we don't take that for granted, and we're just so grateful. So many of you have been generous over such a long time. So thank you very much for tonight, and thank you very much for getting us here over the last 30 years. Just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you. So we will be in touch with you during the year to keep you up to date with what is happening at ICM. Please get in touch if you're interested in taking that long-awaited ICM trip to visit us in the Philippines. You can email us at trips@caremin.com. So that is it from our team. It has been such a pleasure to host you this evening. Manila, we want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here with us. Good night to our friends in Asia, to all of our friends in the US and Europe. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. It is so great to see you, and we will see you next year. Good night.